Medical opinion is if you've seen a consultant specialist and they suggest a probably invasive treatment or surgery, and then you go to see another specialist to see if basically they suggest the same treatment or something else. It's getting increasingly frequent to ask another doctor for a second medical opinion. The internet, I have to say, does not help that much. I see more and more patients who are confused. They look on various websites and they say, well, I've heard so many different opinions that was not really helpful. I have this recommendation to do this treatment or that surgery, and I want to speak to another doctor and see if they see it in the same way. I mean, there are very frequently different ways to look at one specific disease or complaints that patients have. There's very often more than one solution, and very often this is discussed, especially when it comes to surgery in MDT meetings, multidisciplinary team meetings. However, my opinion, it is discussed more or less what this specific group has available. So it's probably not that likely that a patient is referred outside for a treatment that is not offered within this group. So this is why perhaps going to someone else, to another specialist, may be very helpful. You should seek a second medical opinion probably whenever a surgery has been suggested. Of course, there are surgical indications when there is numbness or weakness in your extremities, and the surgery has to be done very urgently and quickly, and then there's not the time to consult with another specialist. But whenever it's about degenerative wear and tear issues and more chronic pain, then there's clearly the time to do another consultation and ask for another opinion, because very frequently there are other options that could be tried before having a major surgery. That is a difficult question. I understand that. I think you should tell them very openly, and also you will need X-rays or the MRI to show to the other consultant, but I think the best way is also to ask them and to ask, well, would another doctor, would another specialist tell me the same thing? Are there any other options? What would you think if I go to another specialist, or would you even recommend someone? I think you could do that. So when I have patients who come for another second opinion, I usually do not want to know at the beginning what the other doctor said. I do not even want to read the reports. I start from scratch. Talk to the patients, get their history, do an exam, have a look at the MRI. So I do not want to be biased. So for the patients, my advice is, don't tell the consultant, I have been recommended to undergo this or that surgery. So just tell them I'm here for a second opinion. But then usually I start from the beginning. I do not want to be influenced. And this is what also the patients want. They do want to have an unbiased opinion. And this is very important. So very frequently I see patients who have a recommendation for a spinal surgery or an intervention. Just 3 days ago, I saw an 80-year-old lady. She was sent to me for her back pain, left leg pain. Of course, with 80, there is some wear and tear, and there were some findings indicating that there is a bit of the leg pain caused by a narrowing of the spinal canal and a pinched nerve. But when I spoke to her, she said several times, "Well, I do have a lot of pain in the groin." And when I examined her, the hip joint on that side was not really, was very stiff. I could hardly move the leg. It caused immediate pain. I sent her for an X-ray that had not been done before. She has only had MRI of the spine twice. No one examined her hip. And there was a severe hip osteoarthritis. And the spine is not okay. That's clear. I told her, well, it's not 100% the hip, but this is what causes most of your symptoms. You need to have a hip replacement, and then we will see and we'll follow up what other symptoms are left, and then we'll see if there's something we need to do for the spine. But this is the main problem, and this is why you need to have someone for a second opinion, to consult with a specialist who thinks out of the box, who's not biased, who perhaps, the best thing would probably be to consult with someone who does not even offer this specific recommended surgery, who is a specialist but doesn't do that himself. So he does not have even a financial interest. So he's completely unbiased. That is my advice.